from Badger High School is IWS Today!
It's IWS Today! With Mr. Kiefer! And starring Mr. Clock! Ladies and gentlemen, it's IWS Today! Now your hosts, Mr. Kiefer and Mr. Clock!
Good morning and happy Friday. Welcome to IWS Today. I'm Mr. Kiefer.
And I'm Mr. Clock.
On today's show, we'll be traveling to Brunelleschi's Il Duomo, pictured behind me.
In culture, we'll be talking about Italian cuisine and sports.
What we'll also be discussing is Italian politics and a little bit about the Italian economy.
We'll also be sharing interesting fun facts about Italy. Now let's send it live to the little historian outside of Florence Cathedral with little known history.
Thank you, Mr. Plock. I am standing outside of Florence Cathedral, where construction started in 1296. Now, for over 100 years, the problem that the construction faced was how they were going to get a roof on top of this cathedral. This dome-shaped roof would have had to have been 150 feet wide and would have to start 180 feet above the ground to sit on top of the existing walls. To decide on the architect to try to do this project, Florence held a competition in 1418. The winner of that competition was Filippo Brunelleschi, who actually won by demonstrating how he was going to build the dome by using an egg. Construction began in 1420. Brunelleschi used methods that even to this day we don't truly understand how he was able to do it. However, he had received 0 architectural training before beginning this project. Now here's the problem Brunelleschi faced. Because of the size of the dome, he would not be able to use a central support system of wood that was traditionally used when building buildings of this size. What he ended up doing was actually creating 2 domes, an inner and an outer shell, where he used iron arches to support the construction. To move heavy loads hundreds of feet in the air, Brunelleschi designed ingenious methods that were far ahead of their time, such as an ox-driven hoist and heavy lifting machines that have never been seen before. Since the dome could not have a central support system, the masonry would have to support itself. What Brunelleschi ended up doing is a herringbone pattern, where he spiraled the bricks, brick by brick, up to the top. Now what Brunelleschi had to do is he would have to align some vertical bricks along the way to act as bookends to keep the horizontal ones in place. This was a very slow process, where they were only able to lay down 1 row per week. And the dome itself would take an entire month just to grow a foot into the air. To this day, the precision of the project is unknown. Brunelleschi left no sketches and no details of how he was able to achieve this feat. The project itself took 16 years to complete, and to this day, it is the largest masonry dome in the world, where it has over 4 million bricks and weighs over 40,000 tons. The size, it is over half the size of an entire football field. The dome is over 10 stories high, and 100 years later, the ceiling was painted depicting images of the Last Judgment. In other history, during this week we had on September 1st, 1939, Germany invade Poland, starting World War II. September 2nd, 1969, the first ATM opens for business. September 3rd, 1777, our flag, the Stars and Stripes, flies for the first time. September 5th, 1972, Arab terrorists kidnap Israeli athletes at the Munich Olympic Games. As always, if any of these intrigue you, you can find more information on our Google Classroom page. Now let's take a look at what's going on. In Italy, they do a lot of things to try to make money to help their economy thrive. For example, they export pasta and olive oil. Now, another way that they try to make money is something that in Lake Geneva we're pretty familiar with.
That's right, tourism. However, the number of tourists has started to become an issue.
That's correct, Mr. Plock. In fact, they're trying to limit the number of visitors there because of the fact that many visitors are destroying the ancient, sacred downtown areas of these Italian cities. So, they're trying to cut them down.
In other news, let's talk about what's been going on in politics in Italy.
Four-time Prime Minister and billionaire Silvio Berlusconi has once again found himself in the headlines. Not only has he been surrounded by corruption charges, he's also been convicted of tax fraud.
The 81-year-old business tycoon has been banned from public service for the rest of his life.
Now let's see what's going on with that culture guy.
Ciao! I'm in beautiful Italy, and today we're going to be talking Italian cuisine. When you think of Italy, you think of pizza. In Italy, pizza is usually baked in a wood fire oven and very thin, but it's loaded with fresh vegetables or thinly sliced ham, salami, artichokes, or olives. The type of pizza that we eat today comes from Naples, in southern Italy. Probably though, the most popular pizza type was created in 1889 when a pizza maker created a pizza with the colors of the Italian flag for the Queen Margherita. Tomatoes stand for the red color in the Italian flag. The mozzarella cheese is for the white, and the basil is for the green color. Calzone is a special type of pizza. Now this is a pizza folded in half into a pocket, which is folded with cheese and salami, or ham, olives, or mushrooms. Delicioso. So delicious! Well, let's test your trivia on Italian cuisine. Which one of these foods is not originally from Italy? Is it A, lasagna, B, spaghetti, C, bruschetta, or D, gelato? The answer is B, spaghetti. The most popular Italian pasta dish, which is enjoyed all over the world with many different sauces. However, it is also widely accepted that spaghetti originated in China, and that the great explorer Marco Polo discovered the noodles there and brought them to Italy. Now, Italians love their sports. Cycling, skiing, and motor racing are just some of the sports Italians have very strong interest in, and good teams of sportsmen and women. The number one sport in Italy is soccer, or calcio. The Italian Soccer League is followed by many Italians abroad, such as Inter Milan. Italians are famous for their inventions and discoveries. The Italian explorers Christopher Columbus and Amerigo Vespucci discovered the Americas while Marco Polo explored the East. Leonardo da Vinci was a scientist and artist who was the first to prove the world is round. Now, did you know that the Italians also invented the piano and the thermometer? Adio!
The Italian capital is Rome, also known as the Eternal City, with 2.6 million inhabitants. Within Rome, we actually have the smallest country in the entire world, Vatican City, led by the Pope and headquarters to the Roman Catholic Church, which is led by the Pope.
No way.
Way!
The nickname Italy is Bel Paese, meaning beautiful country, and the flag colors represent
Red,
charity,
white,
faith,
and green.
hope.
No way!
Way!
Most young people in Italy learn in school to speak not only Italian, but also English, French, and even German.
No way.
Way!
Italy is the third oldest country in the world, behind only Japan and Germany, while it is the fourth most visited country in the world.
No way!
Way!
Now let's go live back to the classroom, room 133, the classroom of champions, to Mr. Plock for IWS Now. Thank you for watching today's program. We'll see you next Friday.